Okay, hi Yuriko.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are
Yeah,
you?
pretty good, pretty good. We had a nice time last week
Yeah.
recording our self-introduction.
Yes.
Yeah, and so hopefully our listeners out there will enjoy um, this podcast.
Yeah.
So that was our first episode. This will be our second episode, and in this episode, we want to talk about your origin story, your how you started thinking about becoming a doctor, education in Japan, and medical colleges in Japan. So maybe kind of how this all started for you. Does that sound okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. So let's start with when did you first think about being a doctor?
I didn't have a specific dream when I was a high school student, but I have been interested in biology, how nutrition works, or how is the mechanism of our body.
Oh, I see.
This is because I often watched a cartoon.
Oh,
It is
okay.
Blackjack. It is a very famous medical animation in Japan.
Where can you see this animation?
On TV.
On TV? Do you think they show on YouTube?
Oh, yes.
Okay, it's called Blackjack?
Yes.
And what happens in this Blackjack animation?
Blackjack is about the genius surgeon without medical license.
Without medical
Without.
Oh, okay.
But
Sounds
he's
interesting.
very genius.
And so you watched that when you were in high school?
No, when I was a child.
When you were a child?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you had some, when you saw this show, it made you imagine what it's like to be a doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And the author is Tezuka Osamu, and he graduated from this school.
From this school?
Yeah.
Really? That's really interesting.
Yeah.
What was his name? Can you say that slowly, please?
Tezuka Osamu.
Oh, I think I've heard that name before.
Yeah.
Is he a really famous author?
Yeah. There is an autograph in the library.
That's probably where I saw it. Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. And this was a popular.
Yes.
Cool. That's really cool. And what do you think about like your classmates or other students? Do you hear similar stories? Like when you ask them how did they decide to be a doctor?
I think some of my friends also were affected by medical dramas or cartoons. There are many famous medical dramas about surgeon or such a thing.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, cool. All right, let's. Okay, that's your dream. Kind of started with seeing these shows about doctors and medical life. Um, can you tell me about your education growing up? So, um, let's say we have some listeners from outside Japan. They might not be familiar with the school system, and I know as an American, there are maybe some differences. So, can you just tell me maybe about the school system, and then also mention something about public versus private education?
Okay, I think there is a difference between American school and Japanese school. An elementary school is 6 years, and junior high school is 3 years, and high school is 3 years.
3 years. Okay, yeah. So in America, it's 4 years in high school. So still, I think the number of years is same, but a little bit different. Okay. And how about public and private schools in Japan? So for example, in America, I don't think private schools are so common. There are some, but in Japan, how about in Japan?
There are private school and public school. Actually, it doesn't matter what school we go. But there are many students from private school in this university.
Okay. So how about you in your case?
I'm from private school.
Private school. Okay. Can you? Is there? That's really good information. Can you tell me what is the difference between public and private? Is there some difference?
Yes, the biggest difference is that private high school is connected. It's junior high school. So
Okay, so you were saying about that junior high schools are connected to the high schools for
Yes.
private schools?
Yes, it's very advantageous for students because junior high school students can learn high school subjects. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
the big difference.
I see. And how about in your case?
I also studied high school subjects when I was a junior high school student.
Oh, okay. So that by the time you're in high school, it'll be a little bit easier?
Yeah.
Okay. And you went to a private high school
Yeah.
in junior high?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I also heard that when you enter the junior high school, usually you can easily go to the high school. That's
Yes.
correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how about the path to medical college from high school? Does it matter about the private or public? Are there any advantages to being in the private high school for entering medical college?
Some private high school students can um, go to its private medical school, but
Oh, okay.
almost every student have to take an exam and enter a medical school.
I see. Okay. Okay, great. All right, let me ask you some other questions. So, um, ah, cram schools. Cram
Yes.
schools. So, this is something I was introduced to in Japan. I don't really remember having this type of a system in the States, um, but I am aware that they're very popular here. So, can you talk a little bit about cram schools?
Yes.
Like, what are they? What is their purpose? When do you go to them?
A cram school is for entrance examination for high school or college.
I see.
So we can take extra classes, whatever students want to.
And then, how about in your case?
I also went to a cram school after high school.
I see. How long did you go to cram
About
school for?
a year.
A year. Okay. And uh, do you think it's difficult to enter medical school without going to a cram school?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because some of the high school students go to medical school without a cram school.
Okay, so it just depends on the student.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it is easier for solve questions if students go to a cram school because teachers there are an expert on examination.
I see. So, for example, let's say this university where we are, if you go to a cram school, they actually can help you study for this specific school's entrance test. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, in that sense, maybe a cram school could be very, very helpful for many students to enter. Okay. Now, what do you think about this cram school system? Because I know, like you said, to enter high school, sometimes even to enter junior high school, kids go, right?
Yeah.
And of course, university. What do you think about it? Like, um, out of curiosity, don't you feel like you already go to school all day long and then you have to go to another school? Like, what were you thinking when you had to go to cram school?
I don't like cram school because it was very tiring for me to go to a cram school after high school.
Yeah.
So.
Like what time would your classes be at the cram school? Like in the evening?
9 p.m.
Start at 9?
Started from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow. And then, yeah, maybe you don't have enough time to eat dinner and some other things, or even just meet your friends or, relax or whatever. But maybe most students are going to cram school, so.
But it is good to have many rivals from other high school.
I
we can
see.
Be motivated.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So some competition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then even after finishing high school, students may only go to cram school before they enter university, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's just stop there for a moment and.